All right, so we have a topic that is very interesting. I think mostly we get this with cartoon voices. They'll want a cartoon and they'll want either me to do a female voice or they'll want my sister to do a male voice. Now, that could be like a boy, like a little boy, or me to do like an old lady. And that's what we want to talk about is how do you voice the opposite gender? If you're a guy, how do you voice female characters? And if you're a girl, how do you voice male characters? So Christina, do you want to tell us what you do? What's your process? Like, how do you know which characters you're able to voice? Like, what's your process on like with your voice on voicing male characters? And which male characters can you do and can't do?
Yeah, I already have like my chest tightening because I will admit it. This is like that request is one of my favorites. Now, I would probably say it's my favorite because it's really cool that someone will hear my voice and they will believe like, hey, she could do a good voice of something that she's obviously not.
You do excellent for little boy characters, like any sort of like young kids, young boys and whatever.
I mean, honestly, what comes to mind most of the times is animals. Like they'll ask for a boy animal.
A little panda or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, little characters.
Yeah, so there's definitely limits to what we could do. Like, I would probably end at like a panda boy. I could not do like a Schwarzenegger or something super manly. Nah.
I think your range is really good for young characters.
Exactly.
Very young characters.
Exactly.
And you can do it much more convincing than I can. Because you have a higher pitched voice. And, young characters have higher pitched voices.
Yep.
I think a very famous voiceover artist that this makes me think of is the voice for Chucky Finster from the Rugrats. Timmy Turner.
There's so many. There's so many characters.
These are female characters that voice male roles in cartoons.
Yeah, I believe her name is Jessica Taylor. She does the voice of Ash Ketchum. I love her voice so much.
Ash, you do a good Ash as well.
She's
Ash
so
Ketchum
awesome.
from Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's very inspiring. I remember when I watched this show, I believe that these were actual like
everyone always does.
Yeah, everyone always thought that like this is an actual like male character, but when you see that a woman does it, it's just like impressive.
And there's like a handful of characters that I have in mind anyways. I feel like the older the woman is, the more convincing the male voice ends up being. Like,
really?
I've kind of felt that pattern. Like through some other characters, I'm sure we should like bring them up on the
on the screen on the video.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that the girl from Darkwing Duck, Phil and Lil.
Oh yeah.
I said Timmy Turner. There's just a bunch.
There's a bunch. Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson, that was a very famous one.
Super famous.
I'm glad you brought that one up. That is one of the most famous examples of a young boy being voiced by a female lead.
Yep.
A female actress.
Exactly. Yep.
So, for me, sometimes I do get roles for like young cartoons, but I can do the male ones pretty simple. Like, I can make my voice a little higher pitched and I could be like a young boy. But I don't usually like to do like female characters that are young because my voice is just too deep.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound very convincing. Otherwise, you get like
it could be more of like a parody.
Awkward. It could be a parody, or if you're trying to make it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do something like that, but it's not convincing. You got to know your range and what you can get away with. With customers, what they'll like.
Yeah, it honestly just depends on what the customer's looking for. I've had a customer ask me to do like a male who's obviously like an adult male, and I'd message them directly like, "Are you sure? Like this is the right character? Do you want me to voice this adult male?" And they said, "Yep, I do." So I recorded it. They loved it. They animated the thing. So I was really surprised. So it honestly just depends on what the customer's looking for.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it is up to the customer. Important to ask them what they want and what they're looking for. And sometimes I will send them a sample because if they want me to do a character that I'm not typically voicing, especially if it's a female character, I'm going to say, hey, look, I'll send you a sample. This is what I sound like as that character. Let me know if this works for you. And they'll let you know.
I remember one of the first techniques you showed me on FL was how to make a voice deeper or higher pitched.
Oh yes, yes,
I
that
remember-
helps. I do that all the time.
Yeah, I for some reason, whenever I voice, the only thing with using that feature, that tool, is your voice has to be in a certain range. Like I can't get really excited. I can't show a ton of emotion because then I hear little glitches.
Oh.
So that's pretty limiting.
It has its limitations,
It has its
but
limitations.
it's very, very powerful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's cool because I have used that too. When there's voices that I need to become deeper for, I will use that tool to make my voice deeper. This is not just a pitching tool where it just pitches you down or pitches you up, because if it was, you just sound like a chipmunk.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this is a tool that actually takes your voice and uses its like this algorithm to change it artificially, to change the tone of it artificially, so that it sounds more believable. And I believe it's some of the same technology they use in Auto-Tune for the pitch correction software. For those of you that know it, it's impressive stuff.
Yeah, it's a cool tool. I honestly have more success using it when I want to sound higher pitched. Because just going deeper pitched, I notice a few more glitches. So maybe that's just a me thing, like the patterns that I tend to talk in. But I could see that happening with other females trying to down pitch. So it just helps to have a naturally deep voice, I guess, or just a naturally higher pitched voice.
So I guess that's our first tip.
Yep.
Use the software to help boost your range. So if you're a female and you need to sound lower, you can deepen it with the software. If you're a male that needs to sound higher pitched, you can use it to boost it up.
And I just thought about this too. I mean, I'll be honest. I've done this a couple times when people ask for a male character, and I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm gonna record this script right when I wake up, because right when people wake up, your voice is deeper naturally.
Your voice is
so
deeper.
I've
in the
had some
morning.
Success with that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I've had some success with that.
Yep, that's knowing yourself, that's knowing your voice and using it to its advantage. So very, very good there.
Yep.
I think, again, we talked about this in the Getting Into Character episode, and it's the same thing with this, because the opposite gender is a character.
Yes.
And so you have to imagine, how would I move, how would I speak, how would I think if I was that character, if I was that person. So it's a little weird, but it's
fun.
it's
I
fun.
love those scripts.
It's really
They're
fun.
really
Yeah, it
cool.
is fun. Anytime you voice a different character or a different role, it's a lot of fun. But it's the same concept. It's the same mindsets. You have to be able to step into a different role, and that's how you voice those. They're fun. They're different. You won't get them all the time, but when you do get them, it's nice to know that you have that versatility.
Yeah, I'm always flattered when someone thinks that I could do, handle that role in a project. So that's really cool.
And when I get people that say that, hey, can you do this, like young Fox or like an Ash Ketchum, I'm like, I know my voice limitations. I know my voice well. And I know your voice really well now. So I say, you know what? This is better for you. This is better for Christina.
Even though it's technically a male role. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we use a lot of teamwork, and I know which roles are going to be better for her and which roles are going to be better for me. And we work together to help the customer like that. So
Yep.
it's kind of nice.
Correcto.
But if it's just you, that's okay. Do the roles that you can do. If you don't know if you can do them,
Do them anyways.
do them anyways, or send them a sample first. Send them a sample, but that shows that you're trying, that you want to help the customer, you want to do it, and that says a lot. That speaks a lot.
And sometimes the customer legitimately wants that. You might have not too
you'll be
much
surprised.
faith, but yeah, they want you to say it. They do.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. I agree. And that's all we got for this episode. So thanks for joining with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys. So make sure to stay tuned to the next one. I really enjoyed that. I think this is going well.
Covered some good ground.
Yeah, we did. We covered a lot of ground.
All right. See ya.
Alrighty.